Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, so random musings. I put out a video last night on the acting FBI director Driscoll, Driz, as the case may be. If you missed that one, go check it out. Simply because it's one of those kind of shining light moments where maybe the FBI needed a little bit of a spiritual pick-me-up, and this guy was put in there to give that to them. Basically to keep the morale up at the FBI that it's okay to resist what's about to come down their way. And what's about to come down their way was the second half of that reading, which was Kash Patel going to get confirmed? And even though that's not something I would want, and I thought it was going to be close, and a 51-49 vote is about as close as you can get, with Murkowski and Susan Collins saying no, they don't want him in there, that still was enough for Kash Patel to be confirmed as the FBI director. Now, in the video about the 19-minute mark is when I started asking, and I got confirmation about the 21-minute mark. I did have at least one person comment, it's like, how remarkable it was how I'm wrong all the time. And to that person, I would say, bite me. I was right. If you want to bother watching the video, I even gave you a timestamp, so you can go see it yourself. If you're going to leave a snide comment like that, I will permaban your butt. I will be the first person to admit I was wrong on things. Don't believe me? I got a great mea culpa the day after the election. I will own my misinterpretations or the things I get right versus don't get right. I don't go around here bragging about the stuff I get right too. And normally I wouldn't even mention the Kash Patel one other than saying, yeah, he got in, and yes, he's going to be a disaster for this country. That being said, take some solace on the two things. One, Mr. Driscoll, that's in there, that gave him a boost. And two, I did talk with my wife, Michelle. She is a government worker, works for a government agency in California. And I was saying, after I was telling her about my reading, it's what I could see is Kash Patel going in there, and he doesn't know what he's doing. So that's the first thing that's going to slow his butt down, is he doesn't know what he's doing, and he doesn't know how the process works. So he can go say he wants something done, and he has no idea how complicated it's going to be. And something that he might think might take days, might take months. And I think that's going to frustrate him. But he's going to have to deal with it because that's the way the system works. Furthermore, he won't know if things are being slow walked. And if he decides he wants, files on, January 6th, the FBI could give him everything. You could just picture them rolling in metal carts, with files 5 feet long, and putting in 20 of these carts in here saying, here's all the data on the January 6th investigation. And they don't tell them what's in any of the binders. It's like, here it is. Have at it, and then just leave. Okay, great. You got what you asked for. Now what are you going to do with it? There's all sorts of ways that they can mess with this guy and act as a resistance. And I do think the FBI is going to do that because I don't think they trust Kash Patel. Other random musings. When did Lena Rodriguez change the name from Tarot Down Under to Lena Down Under? I guess it makes it, if she's going to do more political commentary without the tarot card readings, it makes it easier. Maybe takes away some of the spooky nature of it. I don't think I'll be changing Tarot by the Bay's name anytime soon, but if I do, I'll change it to Baghdad by the Bay, which is what Tarot by the Bay was originally parodied after. For those who've never watched the About Me video on my playlist, Herb Caen was a columnist in the San Francisco Chronicle forever. Well-known columnist. And he referred to San Francisco as Baghdad by the Bay. So that's where Tarot by the Bay came from. was a nod and homage to Herb Caen. Other things. Trump wants Elon Musk to check out Fort Knox to make sure the gold is there. I will read on that. I don't think that's going to be a long reading. I have a kind of an idea probably why he's doing that. And the focus of this reading is going to be Mitch McConnell is announcing he won't run again. Okay. Do you think you've damaged? Have you damaged this country enough? If your job is done here, you poured gasoline, you light the match, threw it behind you, and you're going to walk off. Maybe. So, and in this picture I see in front of me, it looks like Josh Hawley being asked about McConnell stepping down. There's a couple of patriots. So come on down. Mitch McConnell, by the way. Oh, trigger warning. If the whole thing, me trashing Kash Patel, wasn't a trigger warning enough, this isn't exactly the most conservative-friendly tarot channel. So if you're here thinking Mitch McConnell was a patriot, you're in the wrong place. But stick around. I'll tell you a bunch of stuff you don't want to hear. And then you can tell me how all the liberals are triggered and Mitch McConnell's an alpha or something like that. Anyways, this reading will be for entertainment purposes only. I hope you are entertained. Let's get some insight into Mitch stepping down. Why is Mitch McConnell stepping down? Well, there we go. 6 of Swords. He's going away. I'll be curious to see if he serves out his full term. I didn't think he would serve out his full term. I think it's 2026, so I think he's only got a couple years left. Is that right? Let's see. It's a video. Let me check to see real quick. Okay, it was 2026. So, come on back down again. So, he's leaving. It's 2025. He's not going to run again in 2026. Okay. Want to know why? Let's see what the challenge is. This should tell us why he's leaving. He's tired. He's done. He's done all the damage he can do. Yeah. No, he's just done. It's time. It's basically time for him to retire and relax. And, don't get too excited about the grave, the crypt here. Or maybe you can get excited by that. I don't think he's going to die. I just think he can't do it anymore. Yeah, and underneath it all is the Five of Wands. I think the fighting between the MAGA party and the Republican Party, the chaos that's in the Senate, it's just and is doing that. But I think it's just too much. He needs to not be in the middle of the Five of Wands, the hillbilly brawl, the argy-bargy. He just needs peace and quiet. And I want to remind you about, Mitch having those, Senator McConnell, I shouldn't call him Mitch, I don't know him, Senator McConnell with his moments. We haven't had many of those recently, but yeah, I may disagree with Mitch McConnell on pretty much all of his legislation, but as a human being, I don't want him to have to die in office like Dianne Feinstein did. I just want him to retire, go enjoy time with your wife, your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids. Some of you've got great-grandkids. Go enjoy the time that you've got left in here. You've done what you needed to do, and we could certainly argue whether or not it was damaging. It would have been so nice if you had held Trump accountable when you had an opportunity to, but you didn't, so there we go. In the past, we got the Tower card. What came crashing down with Mitch McConnell? I think this is going to be more the health stuff, but it could also just be the fighting. I'm always drawn by the fact that it takes place at the head of the building. He just, his mental acuity, again, may be dropping down. Again, with those health events that he had, could be causing that. This could be, Trump and MAGA coming in there, just blowing stuff up. And McConnell's just, he stepped down from his leadership position, probably because it was too much work and he just couldn't manage it anymore. It's, I want to say it's a young man's game, but there's very few young men in the Senate. Current situation is the Seven of Cups. Integrity, good with bad, illusions, delusions. You can also laugh and just say, you've done a good job destroying the structure of the United States. Collect your prize and move on. That's what the cynic in me would say. But really, it's, how many more good years do you have left in you? Do you want to be like Dianne Feinstein and die in office? I don't think he does. Time to enjoy what little you can out of this lifetime. Overarching energy is the Four of Wands. He's the old guard, and the old guard is now leaving, ushering in this new wave of Republicans. And these are not my father's Republican Party by any stretch. But I also just think it's time for him to go. It's just time. I don't think there's any big scandal coming on with Mitch McConnell. It's just time for him to go. Time to go enjoy, rest on your laurels a little bit, enjoy the nice things in life. Lesson to be learned is temperance. How funny. I'll have to ask about that. Temperance is about detoxification, integration back into society. He has been in Washington for so long that I think he's out of touch, and he may be a little bit alarmed by what he sees. Now, will he actually be in touch? No. He runs in different circles than that, but just, honestly, the vibe I get is this is your going to your cabin out in the country and just putting your feet in the water and just relaxing. Pour yourself a drink. You live to see another day. Have another drink. Outcome is the Strength card. Is he going out on top? Yeah. He might be a little bit past his shelf life date. But, he's still going out on top, as it were. But also, go out while you still have the strength to do things. Traveling or something along those lines. Just get away from the rat race. That's kind of what's going on with him right now. What was I musing about over there? I was kind of musing if Mitch McConnell was going to be considered an enemy of the state, simply because he has locked horns with Trump and the Trump administration, and he's not exactly Donald Trump's favorite person on the planet. But the other part is, has he damaged the country enough? Also amusing was this whole thing with Trump wanting Musk to go down to Fort Knox. And there was another story on here saying that Amazon, was it Amazon? The 007 franchise is being taken over. Amazon MGM is taking creative reins of the James Bond, ending an era of family control of 007. So, yeah, now we got Goldfinger. Elon Musk truly is trying to be a James Bond villain at this point. Mitch McConnell. Is he on Trump's enemy list? Is Mitch McConnell be on Trump's enemy list? This is just purely for humor here. The Lover's card. Okay, probably not. He'll be protected. Oh, jeez. So we got the Lovers, the Ten of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. I can't imagine Trump going out and saying all the wonderful things that one would normally say for a guy who served in the Senate for like 40 plus years. What do we get here? Relationships have been built up, part of the plan. His time's over. He's put in his guy. No, you know what? This is the thing about Trump being about McConnell being on the enemies list. I think this is just more explaining that McConnell has built his relationships and he's named his successor. I believe it was Jim Thune the other day. I looked it up. So he's been the kingmaker. He has his successor as part of his plan. He's done. His successor will carry on his plans, and he's probably given him some details as to what's going on with his plans here. This could also just be Mitch McConnell and his wife going on to travel before he can't travel anymore and enjoying the finer things in life. Just planning his next phase of his life. I guess one last thing I want to look at is I do want to look at his health. Again, this is not to root against Mitch McConnell's health. He had those. He's fallen down numerous times and has had injuries from that. I believe concussion that kept him out for several weeks. He's had those strange freezing moments, which could be related to his concussion. Is his health a large factor or the main factor of him stepping down? Is that why he needs to get away from the rat race? Is because his health isn't up for it? And again, that's really... It's not that it's none of our business, and I'm not rooting for him to die, but it was alarming to see it happen. Don't want to see that happen to anybody, with only a few exceptions. Only because it would limit the damage that they're doing. And that's not McConnell I'm referring to. His health. The Hanged Man. Looking at things differently. Under the bus. Oh dear. I told you I don't want the death card. Yeah, I don't think he wanted to die in office. It's a new way of doing something. Hey, I have an idea. How about I don't pull a Dianne Feinstein and be stuck in office the whole time? Oh, these cards are terrible. Yeah, I think that's exactly it. He's done all he can do. You could become a slave to that job. The job's never done. I think he had an epiphany that the job is never done. You could die in there, and the anxiety is what's going to kill you, but it's anxiety that you're choosing. So you can ruin your own health by forcing yourself to stay in there until you die, and the stress will get you. Or you can decide that, hey, I don't want to be stuck in this anymore. I'm going to start, I'm going to put an end to my political career and the headaches that come along with it and enjoy the time I have left on this planet. Which is what I think is happening. Is his health bad? It maybe it's stuff that he can't really control, and maybe it could also very well be that he's not as mentally acute as he was before. Your brain, as you get older, your brain gets a little less flexible. It's a little foggier. Short-term memory is not as good as it used to be. Things take a little bit longer to think all the way through, and Mitch McConnell, for whatever you want to say about him, he is probably as sharp and clever and strategic an opponent that you could ever face. And he has certainly represented the conservatives' interests extremely well. Given that they don't have a majority in this country, he has managed to keep them in power and their agendas moving forward when he doesn't have the strong hand because he is a strong player. Tip your hat to that. Wouldn't you like somebody like that on the Democratic side? For all the hate that Mitch McConnell and Liz Cheney get on this channel. Can you imagine having some Democrats that were as strategic as Mitch McConnell with the drive and dogged perseverance of a Liz Cheney? Imagine all the stuff that could be gotten done. Can you imagine what two people in the Democrats who have those things fighting against Trump right now and strategizing against Trump and MAGA. Where are they? Because we're not seeing them. Just saying. Just saying. Okay. I'm going to leave it here at this point. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I really do appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you found it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.